You're
DJ Sonic.
What's going on, my OT squad? Welcome back to the channel. So it's looking mighty bright in here. I end up replacing all the blown lights. I just got one more to do, which is that one right there, but Carnage is in the way, so we just gonna do that later. But I can see in here now. It looks a lot brighter. All right, so hope everybody had a good break. It was a couple things that I was, pondering on that I felt that I could do better. I was kind of disappointed in myself, but you live and you learn. So let me go ahead and talk about that. So if you remember, I had this guy pretty much like right here, and I had the fuel line and stuff like that, but I could never get the bottom to stop dripping. As you can see, I got the Teflon tape on there. And, it just, I could do better than this. Like this is, and then, the alternator boot is all ripped. You know what I mean? And then like this line was just looking goofy sitting. No, man, I could do better than that. So I was sitting in my bed laying, I'm like, how am I gonna do this how would I make this work? Well, I ended up, reusing one of my old PTFE lines, okay, and you see it clears. I got the heat shield around, there, but I mean that it makes both of the lines, and then I still got the banjo fitting right there, right? So what I'm gonna do is I got a 45 that's gonna go like this, and then I literally take the feed line and just screwed on right there. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know. Cleaner, way better looking, and less prone for leaks. So that fitting's on the way. That'll look so much better than that goofy shit I did. Look, I'm sorry y'all had to see that. That just goes to show I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too. And that was not it. That was terrible. That was terrible. But yeah, so today we're gonna do some work. I got to get the alternator off, and I could disconnect the battery and replace that alternator boot. I'm gonna take the belt off. I bought a whole brand new belt for nothing, because I had to buy a brand new belt, because we're going to go ahead and put, which I already got that. You see the copper. Got the electric water pump ready to go. I contradict myself so much, because I was like, man, I'm taking the electric water pump off of Hellboy and put a stock one back on. You know what I mean? And it's like, here I am putting another one on. But I understand why my car be getting hot. And another thing, like why 3800s, they spin bearings. You ever notice a 3800 will spin a bearing in the summertime when it's hot as hell outside? And you know what the reason of that is for? Because these cars don't have oil coolers. So we putting all these mods on these cars, turbo kits, all this boost and shit like that. And this oil gets hot. I mean hella hot. And when it gets hot like that, the oil gets thin. The reason why I believe my car survived from the spin bearing issues is because I run straight 40 in my car. I don't run 10W30, 10-4. I run straight 40. It's thick, and you know it's my car speak for itself. Like they all live, and I'm not light on them. A lot of people, they'll just use 10W30, then they spin a bearing, and they just use like Pennzoil, cheap oil, whatever, and then they run all this boost and stuff like that, cause all the friction, and the oil get hot. They doing pools in 90-degree weather, and then they spinning bearings, and that's part of the reason why you think Hellcats and everything else got oil coolers, because that shit gets hot. So, and the sad thing about our cars, there's really nowhere to put this shit. So I gotta figure out on both of my cars, because they both are gonna get oil coolers. I just don't know when I'm gonna do it. It's not really a big deal for me, because if it's 75 and above, I will not do no pulls. I will not drive my cars. Won't drive them. 75 and up. They'll just, if it's 75, 80 degrees outside, I'll just wait till nighttime to pull my cars out. But which is all right anyway, because I work midnight, so I sleep during the day. I drive mostly at night anyway. But I am going to look into doing an oil cooler, but I just need to find a spot where I can put one. I got an idea where I could put one on Hellboy, because I don't have that 4T65E, so I got that big space by the rack and pinion, so I could put one right there, but I need to figure out where I could put one on the pill machine. The pill machine does have like a vent here, so I could somehow, you know the word I'm about to say, I could fladangle somehow a cooler down in there somewhere. I could do that. We're gonna figure it out. Somehow, some way, I got to get a cooler in this thing. So that's something I'm gonna look into. Get an oil cooler in for both of my cars, and which is, some people will probably look, well, how you run an oil cooler? Easy. You get an oil filter sandwich. I think ours is, was it inmate by 1.5. I think is our oil filter. You know what? I'll just wait till I want to confirm it before I tell y'all some information about that. But I'm pretty sure my boy JPL Performance, he'll post in the comment the size of the oil filter housing that's needed. You can just go to Glow Shift and type in that size of oil filter sandwich. Get that, and then it should be two. Get the right size, of course. Then it'll come with the 10 AN fittings. And then you just get an oil cooler and then run 10 AN lines in that oil filter sandwich. So we'll figure it out. JPL will post the size. I know he will. But all right, so what I'm gonna do right now, what I really don't want to do right now, usually I drain the coolant out the knock sensor. I really don't want to touch that again. So I'm gonna just drain it from the radiator. This radiator is new, so it's not going to be a pain in the butt to loosen. I'm going to drain it from the radiator, pull the radiator cap, drain the coolant in the bucket, and then I'm going to stuff a bunch of rags down in there, so I don't make a mess, too much of a mess rather. And once I get that drained, then I'll get the oil pump on, and then we'll get the mezier in, and yeah. And then also we got, because I did the what you call it, the oil drain in the oil pan, so the oil level sensor is missing. So from ZZP they got the oil level sensor delete, which that is literally just plug and play. So yeah, Yeah, so let me get this thing jacked up, and I'll report back once I get yeah, you know how I go. All right, so we got the water pump on. We got it wired up. It goes to the initial control module harness. That's the water pump plug. And then we got our relay right there, grounded right there. And there's the power wire that I hook up to the alternator. So water pump's hooked up. When you do a water pump on a 3800, as you can see, it's easier to take you have to take the alternator off, and the reservoir bottle's got to move out the way. You're going to have 4 8mm bolts, which is best to take off with the belt still on, or just loosen them so you can get this pulley off. And then you'll have, let me turn this light on for you. So you'll have 2 13s there, 3 3/8, and there's a 1 3/8 on the bottom. You can't see it. And then there's 2 13s down there as well. All right, and then you take it right off. But in order to get that off, you have to take the power steering pump off, because that one bolt right there will never come out with the power steering in the way. So that's 2 13s to get the power steering out the way, and then you can get that on. So, whew, it's hot in here. It's good to have heat. But yeah, that's that. So that's how you do that. And then as far as the oil level sensor delete, you literally, well, it's the oil level sensors on the oil pan. That plug, you just literally just plug that into that, and then just tuck it out the way. That's all you got to do. You usually do that when you got a turbo or you got a centrifugal, where you got to run the return line into the pan. So, also found that my feed adapter was lightweight touching the CV axle, so this was good that I ended up doing it. So I got that all taken care of. Nothing's leaking underneath the car. Everything's clean. So what I'm gonna do now is put the alternator on. My 45-degree fitting didn't come on, but I'm pretty sure I could put it on with the alternator on. If not, worst case, I just take the alternator off. So, yeah, let's get the alternator on. Not gonna plug everything in just in case I got to take it off. Actually, yeah, I'll plug everything in because I got to make sure the pump's working. But yeah, let's get all this hooked up. And then from there, we'll do some more explaining. All right, so we got the belt on. Now, when you got an alternator relocation kit, oh man, you're gonna need a 895, anywhere from 875 to 895. I got an 895 6 rib because I got an alternator relocation kit and I got the Mezier water pump. Now before, which I feel like a complete idiot now, if you don't have the Mezier water pump, you would get, I believe this is 905, 935 with a alternator relocation kit. You need a 935 accessory belt. Now, Terrell, how do you run the Serpentine belt with a Mezier water pump? Okay, so how you do it, okay, you, hold on. Okay, so just picture the backside of the balancer. You can't really see it, all right? You go from the backside of the balancer, go straight up over the tensioner, and then wrap around the power steering pump. Don't put it around the alternator yet. And then you'll go straight across the bottom of the balancer to the AC compressor. Then you take your 15 millimeter wrench and go reverse, because that's a reverse thread bolt. Press the balancer down, then you loop this over the alternator. Okay, so it goes from the balancer straight up to the tensioner, wrap around the power steering pump, around the alternator, to the AC compressor, and that's it. And it totally bypasses that. Now I need to put a zip tie on that so it doesn't hit my belt. And some people may be like, why didn't you address the timing chain cover? Listen, the motor's going to end up coming back out. Chill out. The motor gonna come back out because I know I'm gonna have to build this transmission. So we'll address the rest of the block when I pull it out. So it's good for now. All right. You can barely see it anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that pump looks pretty good in there. All right, so I'm waiting on that fitting, but just to give you an idea what I got going on. Okay. So here's the feed. I'm gonna have the feed tucked behind all that stuff back there out the way. And then that 45 is gonna go, where you at? Right there. Right on the banjo fitting. 45 goes right there. Feed line goes right there. Nice and simple. Out the way, way cleaner. I'm rolling with it. So it'll look somewhat like that. Way better. Way better. I apologize about how tacky that was. That was, man, I can't believe I did that. I was really disappointed in myself on that one, but we fixed that. So, yeah. Well, of course, you probably want to hear the pump work. So let me turn the key for you. I pulled the fuel pump relay, so I don't pump gas all over the place. But here we go. Mezier water pump. Did Terrell do it right? Did Terrell do it right? Yes, he did. We got a Mezier water pump. So, well, off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and see what's cool about this is when you turn the key off, right? It stays on for about 10 seconds. And it shuts off. I like that. The whole fleet does that. So, yeah, I'm gonna end the video right here. I'll give you a short video tomorrow with everything functioning, finalized, done. Pretty much after I do this, then the car is officially, I said it before, but this time I say it for surely this time. The car will be officially done tomorrow when that fitting comes. So everything's checked off. It's ready to get tuned. So look forward to tomorrow's little quick video. We'll start it up and make sure we ain't got no fuel leak, and we'll close the chapter on this build and get ready to address Hellboy. When the weather warms up, I can move the cars around so I can get that stuff put on and everything else I got to do to it. But yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow.